Hey guys, as promised, we're gonna be writing another one of the ACOFAS series books. And of course now, since we're on the fourth book, this would be A Court of Frost and Starlight. This angle, this shirt, everything might look very familiar. It's because I'm filming this back to back with my last video, my review on ACOWAR, because this book was just so short. And so I just finished this like 2 days ago, I believe, and it did take me a week to read, which is very surprising considering this book is like only 200 pages. Look how tiny, super small. Whereas ACOWAR was 700 pages. You can see the difference. And I read this in 4 days and I read this in a week. So if that doesn't already tell you, this book in my opinion was a little bit boring. Definitely not necessary, but I still enjoyed it. There was very cute moments and very heartfelt moments. And I did love the Christmassy vibe on it. It's kind of honestly like a Christmas episode to like your favorite show, you know what I mean? I do recommend reading it if you're gonna read the series, but just note that it's not gonna be the most exciting or fun. It's more of like a detox and relaxation after the war, so it's very chill, them celebrating winter solstice and just spending time as like a family. So my rating on this book was a 4-star rating. In my review, I wrote, I love this series, but this was definitely my least favorite book. It is so short, which made me a bit sad because I love the usual details she puts into her books. But also the POVs really threw me off. Feyre and Rhys were always in first person while every other character was in third person. It was inconsistent and brought me out of the story, but overall this was a lighthearted read right after ACOWAR, which was quite heavy. So as I kind of mentioned in my review, part of the reason why I very much disliked this book is that this is the first book where we get multiple characters' point of views. Like in ACOWAR, I think we get one of Rhys's like point of views, but that was all, and it was in the beginning of the book. But this one is like full of different POVs. So we have Feyre, Rhys, Mor, Cassian, I think one of Nesta, like a lot of people. But it really threw me off because Feyre, which makes sense to be in first person, and Rhys were in first person while every other character was third person. So I don't really understand why she wrote from those characters' POVs when she put them in third person anyways. It like threw me out of the story because it was very inconsistent and hard to follow along because one moment is first person, the next is third person. So it's confusing. So it'll be like Feyre's chapters will be like, I was cold, I was trembling. This is not actually what it says, but for example. Whereas Cassian's would be like, Cassian is cold, Cassian is trembling. Like, why? Well, just be prepared if you do read this that is kind of hard to get over, especially if you're like a English lover like I am. I love writing and reading, and that just wasn't. But honestly, I feel like that's literally all I really have to say about it, like non-spoiler wise. It was a cute book, but like definitely not a 5-star. Definitely a 4-star or like even lower. On to the spoiler part, so if you don't want spoilers, move along. But if you want some, stay here, listen to me speak because clearly I love to talk. So some things that I did really like about this book is some of the plot and storylines. Like, I loved how Feyre finds her love of art again and her getting the like shop, I guess I would call it, to then create a free art studio for kids to be able to like express their pain from the war and stuff and loss and whatever. That was beautiful. I kind of wanted to cry. It was very touching. Like, Feyre's just a very caring character and she wants to help everyone around her, and I adore that. I really liked when Rhys bought her the land by the water and she gets to basically decorate the entire thing herself. I thought that was very cute, especially because like Feyre was talking about either in this book, I think it was in the beginning of this book, that she was like struggling with the limited space in their house, but like she loves it so much she doesn't want to get rid of it. So I thought that was very endearing. And also just seeing them exchange gifts and like reading about what they got each other was really cute. And also like all the Elaine moments too in this were very, very cute. Elaine and Feyre like actually finally getting along. Not necessarily getting along, but like speaking. Whereas on the other hand now, Nesta really won't talk to anybody and she's like in this pit of just like bad. And that made me sad. And like Cassian's extension to her and then her basically blowing him off and saying really rude things. Like Nesta just kind of pissed me off in this book. I'm just like, it's not that hard to be around your family and try and be happy. I understand what everyone went through in the war was really hard, but they're all trying and Nesta's not. There's a difference there. So yeah, I guess that's honestly probably my entire review. Like, it is, I would say, important to read this book though, because in the next book I've read about 60 pages of that one, A Court of Silver Flames, which is wholly from Nesta and Cassian's point of views. And if you would not have read this, you wouldn't have understood the fight they had and some of the stuff that it mentions in that book, because it does mention a lot of the stuff from this book. So that's my only advice. But yeah, I think that's all, honestly. I really didn't record me reading this at all because it's so small and there was no like plot twists or like moments, you know. But yeah. Anyways, thank you for watching and you'll have to join me next time.